Hey, I'm Andy Aledort, and in this edition of History of Rock, we're going to take a look at the one, the only, Jimi Hendrix. Jimi Hendrix was the greatest electric guitarist that ever lived, and one of the greatest and most innovative musicians of all time. Jimi completely redefined the way the instrument is played, while also demonstrating boundless creativity as a composer. James Marshall Hendrix was born November 27, 1942, and died September 18, 1970 at the age of 27. In the early to mid-60s, Jimi played on the Chitlin circuit as a sideman to R&B stars like Little Richard, Wilson Pickett, Sam Cooke, the Ozzie Brothers, Joey D and the Starlighters, and many others. Jimi moved to New York City in the mid-60s, and after playing as a member of Curtis Knight and the Squires, he began performing in small clubs as Jimmy James and the Blue Flames. At the Cafe Wha in New York's West Village, Animals bassist Chas Chandler first saw Jimi and was mesmerized by his performance of the Billy Roberts song, Hey Joe. Chas immediately offered to manage Jimi and bring him to England. He quickly teamed Jimi up with drummer Mitch Mitchell and former guitarist and newly appointed bassist Noel Redding. Getting Jimi a record deal was no easy task, so the managers of The Who, Kit Lambert and Chris Stamp, started their own record label, Track Records, specifically to sign Jimi. Hey Joe, backed with Jimi's first original composition, Stone Free, was released on December 16, 1966, and reached number 6 in the UK. Jimi's next single was the incredible Purple Haze, with basic tracks recorded on January 11th at the Langley Studios and overdubs added at Olympic Studios on February 3rd and 8th. The single was released on March 17, 1967, reaching number 3 in the UK. Purple Haze single would not be released in the US until June 19, 1967, coinciding with Hendrix's appearance at the Monterey Pop Festival. For the solo on this track, Jimi uses a custom-built effect known as an Octavia, which makes the note sound 1 octave higher. Jimi's groundbreaking LP, Are You Experienced, was released on May 12th in the UK, peaking at number 2, just behind the Beatles' Sgt. Pepper's, and spent an incredible 33 weeks on the charts. It was released August 27th in the US and peaked at number 5. With the Octavia engaged, the notes sound an octave higher than played. So you need to be on the neck pickup. It's good to get a little edge of the pick and the attack and the thumb. Paul McCartney of the Beatles had seen Jimi play multiple times in small London clubs and was blown away. He recommended that Jimi be invited to perform at the prestigious Monterey Pop Festival in California and was booked to play there on June 18, 1967. Brian Jones of the Rolling Stones introduced Jimi as the most exciting performer I have ever heard. After playing a brilliant reworking of Bob Dylan's Like a Rolling Stone, among other new original songs, Jimi launched into a cover version of the Troggs' Wild Thing, culminating his electrifying performance by burning and then smashing his guitar. As was reported the next day in the Los Angeles Times, Jimi had graduated from rumor to legend. Jimi's second album, Axe's Bold as Love, was recorded in May 1967 and released on December 1st, 1967 in the UK and January 15th, 1968 in the US. Consisting entirely of new original material, one of the album's many brilliant tracks is the beautiful ballad, Little Wayne. The recording of Jimi's third studio LP proved to be a bit of a challenge. The sessions began in London at Olympic Studios in December 67, but moved to the record plant in New York City in April of 68. Jimi's manager Chaz Chandler became frustrated with Jimi's insistence on multiple takes and broad experimentation, such as bringing in outside musicians like organist Mike Finnegan, Al Cooper, Steve Winwood, Jack Cassidy, and others. Chaz quit during the sessions. The double album was released in October 1968 in the US and the UK, where it went straight to number one, achieving multi-platinum status in the US. Jimi's phenomenal cover of Bob Dylan's All Along the Watchtower is one of the greatest rock tracks ever recorded and is the only top 20 hit of his career. It is also his highest selling single of all time. We are just scratching the surface of Jimi's incredible career, so in a future episode we will look at his work in 1969 and 1970, from his legendary performance at the Woodstock Music Festival to the Band of Gypsies and beyond. For History of Rock, this is Andy Aledort.